Good afternoon, I'm Caitlan and welcome to Griffith University News. The world-renowned town of Byron Bay could soon become home to many more after the state government approved the town's first major housing development in over 20 years. Community groups and residents fear the town will lose its charm due to the lack of consultation between the developers and the public. Remus Vaselis reports.
Concerns have been raised about the developers' plans for the recently approved West Byron land site. Byron Shire councillor Rose Wanchap, who quit the Greens Party and crossed the floor to vote in favour of the development, believes that it will create jobs for the local community and solve the town's housing crisis.
This development will be best for all our businesses, all our small businesses, all the tradies, the plumbers, electricians, and it's our rates as well.
Byron Young Residents Alliance think more specific details of the development should be made available.
The Byron Young Residents Alliance is against what they're planning out there at the moment. We'd like to see some kind of guideline and agreed procedure about the way that it's going to be developed.
The lack of consultation and information on how affordable the land will be for those in the average wage of $482 a week has locals worried.
And I can't see how there's going to be any cheaper housing, because once the housing is sold, it'll just be worth what the rest of Byron's worth, which is extremely high, too high. So I think it's a furphy. I think it's ridiculous.
Residents are also concerned about the increased traffic issues a new development would bring.
I think we need to sort the traffic out before we sort out building more houses.
With the developers, state and local council not backing down, the battle lines for West Byron have been drawn. This is Remus Vaselis reporting for Griffith University News.
Scientists at Griffith University's Menzies Health Institute may be on the brink of something revolutionary. A new type of beer that actually rehydrates you could mean an end to hangovers and other symptoms of intoxication. Dale Borden reports.
Here at Griffith University Health Centre, a group of Australian researchers are well on their way to uncovering a solution to the common hangover. Associate Professor Ben Desbrow has conducted a study exploring the use of beer as a form of rehydration post-exercise.
What we've really embarked on is a series of studies where we're looking for a healthier alternative for beer drinkers. We know that many people, after they exercise or they're involved in work which causes them to sweat, they like to have a beer following that. And so what we're saying is, can we provide an alternative for those already beer drinkers to shift towards a healthier alternative?
Results of the study have shown that a beer with low alcohol content and manipulated electrolyte levels was actually able to rehydrate the body 3 times better than your average brew. Based on the method of research, the question has now been raised: could beer potentially serve as a post-sport beverage?
Being an avid runner as well as an avid cyclist, it's the nature of us to have 1 or 2 beers after, but you've really got to consider what you're consuming, because naturally beer isn't that great for you. So to consider that, to be able to consume a beer that does have electrolytes and to replenish your hydration, that would be fantastic.
The group is now conducting an online survey to gather market research and to better understand beer drinkers and their motivations.
We certainly had some initial interest, and we continue to field some of that interest. We've had a lot of sort of strong popular sort of response, and I think that will hopefully translate into something that becomes a commercial product.
Reporting for Griffith University News, I'm Dale Borden.
Even though the Muslim faith may have been portrayed negatively in the media since 9/11, the number of Australians converting to Islam is increasing at an annual growth rate of 3.8%. Genevieve Smith has the story.
Despite a split in the nation's views regarding Islam, there has been a significant rise in the number of young Australians crossing over and converting to the faith. These young Australians are giving up their Western lifestyle and choosing to take on the rules, traditions and cultural differences of the Muslim faith. 19-year-old Lily Pritchard converted 1 year ago to Islam and is now engaged after meeting her Lebanese-Australian partner 6 months ago on a trip to Sydney.
But I was exposed to the religion maybe 3 years ago when I did a student exchange in Indonesia, and just like hearing the call to prayer 5 times a day and watching people actually stop to appreciate everything and pray.
Despite negative media coverage of Islamic extremist groups such as ISIS, Islam is still the fastest growing religion in the world today.
Total way of life. So it encompasses their work, their job, their studies. So Islam is with them all the time. And because we pray periodically 5 times a day, our affiliation is much more stronger than going to once a week to the church or, just a few days to the synagogue.
Just like everything changes, because Islam is not just, it's not just a religion, it's a way of life.
In a country where you are free to follow any religion, drink and eat freely, and choose whatever you'd like to wear, these young Australians are choosing to convert to the Islamic faith and live the way they do, and not because they are born or married into it. Genevieve Smith, Griffith University News.
Biosecurity and local snake catchers are on the hunt for a Native American boa constrictor. The snake was mistakenly released at the Spit by police, and now the hunt is on to recapture it. Caitlan Gallagher reports. Police have been embarrassed after releasing a snake into the bush at the Gold Coast after assuming it was a carpet python.
We're working very closely with Biosecurity Agency and they're the lead agent. And right now we're monitoring any calls coming in. So if somebody sees a snake, get onto council on 1300 MyGC and then you can get onto us and we'll get out there and together with Biosecurity and to secure this snake.
After closer observation, snake catchers have identified the so-called carpet python as a boa constrictor that could pose a huge threat to native species.
There's every chance that it's more than likely that this guy could definitely pop his head up, as boa constrictors have a very small home range, especially being that the snake is actually from a tropical environment and inhabits tropical regions of the earth. Now we're in the subtropics here, so the temperature's a little bit cooler, particularly at this time of year. So the likelihood of this snake moving far, there's basically a very low likelihood that it would move far from where we are now. It's likely to be in the local area.
Biosecurity Australia and local snake catchers have been searching for the reptile, but so far it's unknown where it could be hiding. The snake catchers are disappointed with the actions of the council and police after they chose to relocate it with a sheet. It's believed that the snake is 2 metres long and can't travel too far or too fast in our environment. Local snake catchers say that it could be spotted within the next month or so. Locals are being urged to keep an eye out for the specimen and call Biosecurity if they see anything. This has been Caitlan Gallagher reporting. An expert team of craniofacial surgeons from the Adelaide Women and Children's Hospital are set to perform vital surgery next month and reconstruct a 5-year-old boy's face. Sharka Hill with the story.
A Gold Coast family has relocated to Adelaide so that surgeons at the craniofacial unit can perform vital surgery for their young son. Little Callum Kane was born with a tessia cleft condition, leaving him with part of his lower eye socket missing and no eyelid. Callum's surgeon, Dr. Walter Flapper from Adelaide Women and Children's Hospital, describes his treatment and future surgery.
The issue that we're looking at with Callum at the moment is that he can't close his left eye because of the soft tissue cleft that he's got there. He's had some surgery in the past which hasn't helped, but basically there's not enough skin and soft tissue to cover it, to recreate his lower lid and close his eye. So what we've done is we've put in tissue expanders, which are like balloons, underneath the skin, and they're slowly stretching the skin out. And as that stretches out, the skin grows and makes more skin. Once we've got enough skin, we'll take the balloons out and we'll be able to move that tissue across.
In an interview with Callum's mother, Jennifer Bennett, she tells us about the fears she has for the future of her son.
Worries. You've got those kids that seemingly have nothing wrong with them committing suicide. I don't want him to ever have a Facebook account. I'm just worried about bullying.
Through all of this, Callum remains brave and talks to us about the things that he likes.
Dinosaurs.
And
Jets.
they're all new to me.
I like jets.
You love airplanes, don't you?
Yeah.
Callum will continue to receive treatment at the craniofacial unit here at the Women and Children's Hospital in Adelaide. His surgery is scheduled for later next month. This is Sharka Hill reporting for Griffith University News.
Halal certified products have become the target of a national boycott campaign. Suggestions that profits from the halal certification are financing terrorism have seen consumers take matters into their own hands. Vicky Rados has this story.
It's all around us, from our local eateries to our local supermarkets and even our local butcher shops. Halal certified products have become a normal part of everyday life. but there have been recent allegations to suggest that profits from halal certification are directly funding terrorism.
I've had several customers of Muslim origination that won't shop here because we're not certified, and I've also had people ring me and ask me if we were certified, and I advised that we weren't because we sell pork. They said that they would continue to shop from us because we weren't halal certified.
For any food to be halal, it must comply with the religious ritual and observance of Sharia law.
Activists across the country are urging consumers to boycott halal products, claiming that certification funds extremist groups and is part of a campaign to introduce Sharia law to Australia.
Money they've been getting all over the years, they use that for Islamic schools, they use that for helping mosques, they use that for helping orphanage homes, and everything is done in Australia. So it's a benefit to the Australian people. So that's where they say that the money is going to foreigners and is going to, terrorists. It's just a fabrication.
Vicky Radosavljevic, Griffith University News.
Now entering its 14th stint, the annual Blues on Broadbeach Festival, held in and around the Broadbeach CBD, has received additional funding from large Gold Coast corporations. Promoters behind the festival have not dismissed claims that it's outgrowing its one-weekend stint. Jake Wilton reports.
Blues on Broadbeach is fast becoming the major calendar event for the Gold Coast, with a slew of new stakeholders in place to boost the festival's glamour. The Broadbeach precinct is expected to be hit with another record number of patrons wanting a piece of the blues action following last year's 125,000 attendance. Fresh from the revelation it provided $15 million boost to local businesses, organisers of the Blues on Broadbeach Festival have linked with high-level Gold Coast stakeholders to drive visitation to the city. These include Gold Coast Suns, the Gold Coast Titans, Gold Coast Tourism, Magic Millions and the Sanctuary Cove Boat Show and Gold Coast International Marine Expo.
New stakeholders coming in is going to be a really good thing as long as the thing stays free. I don't want to see 5 years' time it suddenly becomes a ticketed event, for whatever, $500 for the weekend sort of thing.
With the entire event being free to all patrons, Broadbeach Alliance believes these new partnerships are what could expand the festival.
We've got about 22 venues and stages this year, which stretches across over to Jupiter's Casino. They've got 3 stages running as well. So it just spreads the footprint. It just increases acts to see. If you've got something where you're going to miss them one day, you'll get them somewhere else.
With plenty of space to grow within the Broadbeach precinct, there is no danger of the event outgrowing its home. If anything, there is a chance the duration of the event could be expanded to cover 2 weekends and the week in between.
Being one of the biggest events on the Gold Coast to support live local music and with added business support, promoters behind Blues on Broadbeach would be hard-pressed not to allow the festival to expand.
Blues on Broadbeach runs from the 21st to the 24th of May in various venues around the Broadbeach CBD. Jake Wilton for Griffith University News.
Cosplay fans came together for the Supernova Pop Culture Expo at the Gold Coast. One highlight of the weekend is the cosplay parade, where many get to dress up in their favourite character costumes. Teresa Lazameyer was there to join in all the fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have less than 5 minutes until the start of the cosplay parade.
On the 19th of April, the streets of Broadbeach are full of superheroes. People come together dressed up as TV, comic, console gaming, cosplay or fantasy characters.
We're here as Mario, Luigi and the Mario Star, and this is our 3rd or 4th year coming to Supernova.
Cosplay fans from all genres will unite to parade through the streets of Broadbeach.
I think it's important, people need it, just to take a break from society and release their mind a bit, have a bit of fun.
Any large group can sign up as a costume group and get their own space in the parade.
The parade ends up at the Gold Coast Convention Centre, where the gates of Supernova itself will open.
Just getting to be a different person for a day, you do feel different, and you are aware that people are looking at you, but it's good because people are looking at you for a good reason, not for a bad reason, and you just feel happy that people are happy because of what you're doing.
The parade is a good event for people of all ages, comic lovers who like to dress up,
and onlookers who want to see extraordinary costumes.
Just go out and have fun and be your own superhero.
Now to sport, where Perth Glory's suspension from the A-League Series final means Brisbane Roar will have the chance to defend their crown. The Premier's plate is on the line at Suncorp Stadium tomorrow night, and some very important bragging rights. Paul Ayres reports.
Just like old times. Dubbed the Killer Bees, Bessart Barisha and Thomas Broich once had the A-League in an orange swarm. Now the best of enemies, the former teammates will put their friendship on hold Saturday when the Roar takes on Victory at Suncorp Stadium. Melbourne can sew up the Premier's plate tomorrow after rivals Perth Glory were excluded from the competition after breaching the salary cap. But the exclusion is good news for the Roar too, with Vice-Captain Broich now buzzing his team have the chance to defend their title.
Oh, it's great. We're getting a chance to defend our title, so it's massive for us, and it means that we get to play football for a bit longer, so we're all happy.
But Brisbane's marquee man knows his side won't be favourites against the league's leaders.
They're confident, they've beaten us, they know how to beat us. We still have to figure out how to beat them.
Despite being expected to take the win and the league title, Victory top scorer Barisha says pressure won't be a problem.
Not at all. This is something where every football player plays to win, things like that. I think we should not be nervous. We should just enjoy and try everything to win it.
The Roar may field a weakened side tomorrow with nothing to play for until the finals. And head coach Franz Tyson could use fresh legs for their do-or-die Asian Champions League encounter next week.
Saturday's game will be Brisbane's 4th in 10 days, and with their 6th spot already ensured, it's a question whether motivation and fatigue will begin to take its toll.
Melbourne are looking to make it 3 from 3 against Brisbane this season. Paul Ayres, Griffith News.